everybody, it's Miss Jen, and today I have a fun math activity for you to do along with me. First, let's gather some materials. So for today's math activity, we are going to be making a number line, and then we are going to use a number line. So if you have something fun or sturdy or durable at home, go ahead and use that. So for example, I took some paint chips that I had been using for my collage project and I cut them into strips. Maybe you have some rocks laying around that you could glue down, write some numbers on. But if you don't have any of those things, just grab a piece of paper. Making the number line is the important part so that you can use it and then, have a better understanding of the order that numbers go in. So, something to create the number line on, something to write your numbers with, a marker. You might need to cut and assemble your number line, so perhaps scissors and tape. And then grab something from your small parts tray that you are going to use for counting and using your number line after. So for this activity, I have my bowl of change ready to go. So we're going to put together both the slightly fancier number line and the simpler number line. So as I work, you're going to have plenty of time to work also. So I'm going to put together my fun, fancy purple number line first, and this is what I'm going to do. I have going to cut it so that each one has 5 spots in it because I want my number line to go to 10. So right now this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So does this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am going to cut off the last one just because I want my number line to be a little more purple. And I want to leave it so that there are going to be 10 spots. So then I'm going to put the number line together like that. I'm going to take a piece of tape, put it down, tape it, wrap it around, and now I have a number line with 10 open spots. And I'll come back and I'll write the numbers in after. So let's just count, make sure that we got to our 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to put this one to the side because we're going to now work on the more simple number line. So you're going to do something similar. You're going to cut out 2 strips. And you want to cut them, maybe put 3 or 4 fingers together. That's about how wide you're going to want it to be. And you're just going to cut 2 strips. And this one doesn't have to be fancy. I didn't measure, my lines aren't perfectly straight, but that's okay. It doesn't matter how fancy this number line is. What's important is that we are going to be able to use it for counting. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my tape. I'm going to tape it together. So this one ended up being a little bit longer, which is interesting because this one might be more useful for counting bigger things. And if you notice, I actually used some scrap paper that I had started writing on. So we know that this is going to be about the halfway spot. I'm going to put a 5 there to remind me that this is halfway to 10. And then I'm going to start writing my numbers. Write with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I have all of my numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 written on a number line. I'm going to put this one aside and go back to my purple number line. So I'm going to do the same thing. This one is going to be a little bit easier because there's spots for each number. And I'm going to go nice and slow this time so everyone can see how I'm writing the numbers. I'm going to even push it to the side and pull it over as I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have 2 different number lines that I could use. I'm going to give everyone a chance to finish writing, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you some different ways that you can use these number lines. So I have my loose parts change. I decided that I wanted to go through and pick out just the pennies, but you can use any loose parts that you want so long as they're small. You can use all the change. It's up to you. So here's a couple of different ways that you can use this number line, and I want you to try to do these activities with me. I have some different piles of pennies, and each time that I count out a number of pennies, I'm going to put it here on my number line. So I'm going to count out each one. So here I need 1 penny, 1 item. So there's 1. I need 2. 1, 2. I need 3. 1, 2, 3. I need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I ran out of space. 10 fits down there. This is a really good way to see that as you go down your number line, your numbers get bigger and the amount of pennies or whatever loose parts you have gets bigger or greater or more. I know from looking at this number line that if I have 7, that's more than 2. I can even see that numbers next to each other. I can see that 7 is more than 6. The opposite is called smaller or less than or fewer. I can see that 3 is fewer than 5. I can figure this out with numbers next to each other. 4 is fewer than 5. This is one way you can use your number line. Here's one more way you can use your number line. Here's what you need to do. From your loose parts, you are going to count out 2 piles of 10. So let's work on that together. I'm going to put my first pile over here and my second pile here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My second pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 2 piles of 10. I'm going to remove the rest of my loose parts out of the way. So now I have room to work with my number line. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab some pennies from each pile. You're going to count them, and then you're going to line them up in the right place. So from this pile, I'm going to grab those, and then I'm going to grab this. I didn't look, I didn't count, I just grabbed. Okay, let's count them and then move them to the right spot, and that will help us figure out which is the bigger number, the greater number, the number that has more, and we can find out the lesser number, the smaller number, the number that has fewer. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move these to the 4. I see it comes here on my number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to move these to the 6. The ones I grabbed from this side have 6. I grabbed 4 from this side. 6 is greater than 4. 4 is less than 6. Push them back and do it again. This time I grabbed from this side 1. From this side I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to move it to the 4. 4 is greater than 1. 1 is less than 4. Put them back. 1, 2, 3. Put it on the 3. From this side, I grabbed 1, 2, 3. I need to figure out a way to put it together. I grabbed the same amount from each side, 3 and 3. You can keep using your number line to organize, to count, and to figure out which numbers are greater and fewer. You can keep your number line handy when you're doing any sort of counting activity. Anytime you might want to know which number is the bigger or the greater number, and which number is the less or the smaller number. Keep your number line handy whenever you're doing any sort of counting work.